everybody. Welcome back to Out of Bounds. We are finally back in season 4 with my man RayCheesy. First time back, we've got all brand new graphics in front of you. These fine animations done by my good buddy here. And damn, Ray, how are you doing, man?
Yo, I'm good, boss. I'm good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's good to be back. It's good to be back on this podcast. If you guys don't know what my podcast is, I've been doing this for almost 5 years. 5 years now. And it's evolved into mostly a talk show podcast, I would say. And we bring in content creators, we bring in athletes, we bring in anybody you can name that really would give us an interesting conversation, give us an interesting in-depth look into them. And I thought there'd be nobody better to have on as a first guest than my man Ray. So please introduce yourself, my man.
I am RayCheesy. As you guys know, or if you don't know, I stream MLB The Show. I make content for MLB The Show. I've been doing it, for a little over 3 years now. I think I started in like 2017 is when I really started.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just making content MLB The Show. That's really what I stick to, and been enjoying it so far.
I'm glad you've been enjoying it, man. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. Well, the first question I always ask to anybody I bring on here: what really got you into content creation? What really drove you to start doing what you do now?
Yeah, mine's kind of a random thing. So when I really got into content creation, my college roommate back in college, he's like, you're pretty good at MLB The Show, like, and like I know it's pretty good, and I would beat pretty much all my friends and everything. He's like, dude, like, have you ever heard of Twitch? Like, have you ever started doing stuff on Twitch? I'm like, dude, I have no idea what that even is. Like, I don't know. So he maybe hopped on my PS4, made a Twitch account, and I started broadcasting off my PS4. Literally had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a chat pulled up. I was literally just sitting there. I don't think I even spoke. I don't think I even did anything with it. But that's where I started. I mean, that's why I started my channel. That's why I started doing everything. I never really know much about it, honestly. But as I kept on doing it, I started growing this passion and
Understanding.
Understanding of it. I just really enjoyed it. And it's led me to where I'm at today, and it's been a crazy ride. It's been a crazy ride so far. So.
Yeah, I could see here. Remember, a lot of the time. We can go back. We can go back how many years, guys? I can remember this guy coming in here to my chat and then telling me, "Hey, man, I live in Iowa too." And you know me, like, chat, like, I'm always gonna connect with the guys from Iowa because like, we always got to represent each other. We always got to stick together with each other. And
the Iowa love,
and that's why we call each other Iowa nice, man. That's just how it is. Exactly. And what was that like real first streamer you watched that really helped you understand it better, or really gave you an understanding of what you were doing, I'd say?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I didn't start on YouTube, but I started watching like content creators on YouTube, and so like Cardinal Bird 5 was a really big influence on me with like just gameplay. And I don't know how a lot of people in chat even know who that is because he doesn't do stuff with it anymore. But he was regarded as probably the best player. Him and Pitching Ramble were always like
he was good. Okay, I can sit here and tell you, chat. He is regarded as the pioneer of a lot of things we saw, and because there's even people like Fuzzy that were writing down certain things that he did back then, and now he's doing now, like. Yeah. That's how pioneer he was. Like, he was a part of the community before there was even a community.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
And that's where I started. I mean, I watched his hitting tips videos. I watched his rating or his update, his new whatever they do every week, whatever the player rating update, like who to invest in, like all that stuff. So he was like the first YouTuber I watched, and then trickled down to like Cougs, Fuzzy, Shelfie. Like those guys are all, making videos back then as well. And then on the streaming side of things, I mean, that's when Cougs and I think Shelfie and those guys, I think they came over in 2018, maybe it was 2017. I don't know for sure.
I mean, Cougs was like doing Twitch for a while, and then he just like focused himself on YouTube. Then he realized to go back to Twitch once he started getting his numbers back up. Yeah. So it was like 2-3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so, I mean, I really resonate with Cougs. I don't know. I feel like we have a similar vibe. I feel like we're kind of just like chill, laid back.
Timothy's the man. Let me tell you, I met him, man. He's one of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
That's so dope.
Man, seriously, you could sit there and have a chat with him about anything, and you could sit there and fucking chug a beer with him. In all honesty.
No. I've been lucky enough to get to know like him and some of the bigger guys more on a personal level, and they like he is one of the people that has always been cordial to me, like always been super nice, always been just a really good dude to just like talk to. Even when I was small, like I mean, he helped me out. Like they're literally I'll never forget this. I was streaming, I think it was MLB The Show 18, and I tweeted at him and I was like, hey man, like I think there's like something just weird my Elgato. Do you mind like just checking it out? And he actually came. Like I didn't mean for him to come into my stream. I just wanted him to like look at it like one of my prior streams, but I happened to be like streaming at the time when he came in. And then he like just like talked to me about it a little bit, and then like ever since then, like I mean, I've gotten to know him a little bit better now and whatnot. And he's just always been like a super cool dude for me. And yeah, so I really honestly I think my biggest inspiration is probably Cougs, because he's just I think he's kind of the pinnacle. Big on YouTube, big on Twitch, right? Just one of those guys that you want to reach at some point. You want to get there at some point. And yeah, I mean he's probably the biggest inspiration I had.
Yeah, he was a previous guest on my my podcast.
Yeah. Actually, I watched it with him
3 or 4 times, I believe, and we've had him on, and he could probably watch those again and then just see the growth. You could see the growth here from there. Him being, I watched one of the previous ones, and he was still using a snowball at the time.
Yeah.
And now you see where he's at with like 4K camera, fucking Elgato mic, so on and so forth. Like he's gotten up there. He's the definition of a success story.
Yeah.
And he's become we know each other on a first name basis now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely. But so Cougs was definitely one of the first ones. When did you know it was a good time to really take it seriously? Like start taking this so seriously? Was it now or was it like beforehand? Because I remember having a chat with you in the previous years where you was sitting here even questioning whether or not you wanted to even get a computer and get an Elgato or anything like that, because you weren't sure if you were going to take it seriously.
Yeah. Okay, the thing is, I think when you get the gaming or when you get the PC, that's like when you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, right? Like that's what I'm like, you're investing your money, like $1,000, probably $1,000 at least into it, and it's like I have to make that. That's like it's in my head. It's like if I'm doing this, I'm gonna do this, right? Like it's like I'm gonna make this happen. And that was back in, what was that, 2019, maybe 2000,
maybe 18, because you got around that time when you got those with the equipment for it, because I remember.
Yeah, I think it was 2018. But I mean, even at that time, like I didn't know that it would become what it is today, I guess, if that makes sense. I just like, I don't know, it just like this year with COVID happening and just I couldn't really go out and do stuff. I made it really I just made it so that I would say I made a schedule, stay consistent, and I did throughout the entire year. I've literally streamed MLB The Show. There was very seldom there's a time that I took off. Either I was on vacation or maybe like work was hectic or whatever. But I mean, it just, I don't know. Just this past year, I got to the point where I'm like, I really love this, and it's something that I want to do in the future, moving forward. Not only on the side, but more of a full-time gig.
Right. And anytime you feel like you can hit that point where you're going to be able to do it full time, it's the best feeling in the world. Like,
Yeah, I'd never thought in my life I'll be able to do this, but this was like a year in the making of, saving up, making sure I have good financial decisions. And yeah, I just, it got to the point where, and obviously with it going to Xbox, the viewership is going to be insane. And so that was a really big thing for me.
Yeah, to think like we'll get into more of that like later because that is in that. But like to think that I've been in this community for everybody that's either watching it right now on Twitch or listening to it on Spotify or SoundCloud. I've been in this community since 2015, where we would only have maybe 4 people in the category streaming at one time. That would be people like Clutch. Clutch is an OG. Carl. Yep. I mean, we all miss Carl. Fucking who else? Math and Man. There's some you probably don't even know. Math and Man, Average Rage Gamer. God, there's so fucking many of them, dude.
Yeah, I don't even know those guys, to be honest with
you. Yeah, no, it's been like quite a few years, and you did come into the community around 16 or 17. I do remember though.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yeah, I think 17 is when I actually started doing some Twitch stuff, like when I had I had an actual webcam and like a mic. Obviously, it wasn't anything crazy, but that's what I started out with.
Right. And now look at you with a DSLR, fucking camera, big time, hitting the big time with your wireless headphones. Hey. Man, my man's gonna be Hollywood, and I still haven't met him.
I'm not Hollywood. I'm just a regular Iowan.
I know. I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been blessed enough to make some really good upgrades, and hopefully in the future I can keep doing the same thing. Right. Exactly. But like, what is really that kept you going and kept you like on the right path to what you're at right now? Yeah, honestly, literally, like, it was just like I got to the point where like I knew people were gonna be there. You know what I mean? Like I was just there, and like people would be in the chat before I even went live, and I was like, if people at this point are gonna be at this is like when I like really started, just my growth when 20 kind of started. I just knew that like people would be there, and like it was something that I really, really, really enjoyed. And I would always have, chat was always popping, people would have questions, it got to be like a family to me. Like, honestly, like I would have like Trav is an OG. He's in chat right now. This man was in my streams when it was just me and him talking. Like we would be in there for hours just talking to each other. Like that's
like my boy Log Boss. He's in the chat right now. That's my boy Log Boss. He's been here since 2015. The first time I started playing this game, and started doing streaming. He's been here since then. And
is that nuts?
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it's all about. I'm just gonna sit here and say that's what it's all about. Like growing a family and growing those people, like relationships that I have a full group chat with my day ones. Mm-hmm. Like seriously, like my day ones like are always, I'm talking to them every single day, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. And see, Log Boss even proved it. 4 years, right, 262 days. He has been here since that day. Like
that's where it got to a point where it wasn't just like streaming. It became like more of a family thing where I was like, I just made these relationships with people, and it just like ever since then. Now, I mean, I know I got to know some people by first name now and stuff like that, and like we DM each other and all that stuff. So it's like I talk to these people more than like somewhat my regular friends. You know what I mean? Like because they're always in my chat, like chill. Not that I don't talk to my regular friends, but like these people are just always with me.
Yeah. They become a part of your life. They become a part of your family. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like, I mean, even me and you know each other on a first name basis now. Yeah. Well, mostly because of the Iowa connection, but it helps having the Iowa connection and knowing that I could hop on 380 and be at your house in no time. But like,
right.
But I even know Jesus.
Okay.
Okay, Travi. Okay.
He's wilding.
But yeah, being on a family basis is pretty much, I could see that being a way of keeping you going constantly.
Yeah. And I always strive to be the best I can be as well. And I just know, like, I don't know, I just wanted to keep improving on myself, not and on my content. And I think that was another thing, that I knew that I could do. I just needed time to continue doing it. So that was like another thing that, really was like, I think I can do this. Like I got to the point where, like, I think I can do this.
Well, what do you like? What kind of advice would you give to streamers that feel like maybe they're not getting there, or maybe they're not being able to find the time to do certain things? Because I know you've given out that advice. I've given out plenty of advice, but we'll open this to you. Like, if you've got somebody coming in here asking the question, hey, I'm not getting any traction on Twitch, what could I do to make it better?
Yeah. So the biggest thing, this is one of the biggest things I always tell people, right? Be consistent, because once you're consistent, people will be like these guys know I stream at 7 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So they know that I'll be live then, and they'll come in there right away. Like, they just know I'm gonna be live. Number one thing, be consistent, make a schedule. Other thing that a lot of people, this is like seems backwards, but streaming on Twitch is not always the best thing to gain traction. Being discoverable outside of Twitch is the way to bring viewers onto your stream. Make a YouTube channel, make a TikTok. TikTok, like, literally helped make me to where I am today. I had some videos hit on there, and I got lucky enough that led to those guys coming over to Twitch, because the discoverability when you're live on Twitch is almost non-existent. Depending on the game, there's a ton of things that go into it, but literally it's so hard, especially if you're starting out, to just be streaming on Twitch and think that people are going to come, because it just won't happen. It's a sad truth, but it's a truth nonetheless. Very, very seldomly do people start on Twitch and just grow instantly, unless they're outside, with, Twitter, or they're crazy doing something different. But being discoverable when you're not live is a huge, huge thing that I really took advantage of on TikTok, and that helped me, get to where I am today.
Yeah, I mean, we learned that from the best. Me and you learned that from the best, and his name is Graceful Swanee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was a pioneer of that shit. I mean, I was on TikTok before that, but I didn't even realize putting my gaming clips on there would do any sort of traction.
Yeah, and they hit, man, especially in early, like, it was August, September, November. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. All those videos were hitting, and now they're starting to hit again. I mean, there's a long period of time where I was losing followers, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was losing, 10, 20 followers a day for a little bit.
Or like when I was talking about earlier, before we went live, I was telling you about the fact that I would upload the same TikTok twice, and it would not get views, like a single view. And I'm sitting here like, is it broken? Like, what's going on? And it's just how it is sometimes. But
yeah, 100%.
And 100%, yeah. But that's the best. That's the biggest advice you would give to them, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. There's really any. Those are really the two biggest things. I mean, the ultimate goal, and this is how I look at streaming, is either you're really entertaining or you're really good at the game. And if you hit both of those, that's when you see growth like crazy. That's why you see, like, a guy like Kyle actually went nuts this year, right? I think he started his YouTube channel like a year ago, maybe at this point, or maybe a year and a half ago. And the man's always have 80,000 subscribers. Like, he was able to be entertaining and be really good at the game. And it hit for him. And, like, to me, that's the pinnacle. That's what I want to try to reach. I don't know what I am at this point. I'm just kind of just like, blah, I'm kind of just there. But to me, those are the two biggest things. Either you want to kind of set on, either you're really good at the game or you're really entertaining, and work on that. And then someday try to get those to mesh together.
Right. I think if you hit the point where you're almost hitting partner, you're going to hit partner once 21 goes.
We'll see.
Man,
we'll see.
You know damn well once 21 comes out, those view counts are gonna maybe even triple, or maybe even double, triple, quadruple from what they are now. And it's done that in the past few years. Like I would see during the off season, we would see maybe, for example, Carl way back when, he was getting like 200, 300 viewers. Next thing you know, on launch night, he's got 1,000. And I'm sitting here like,
nuts.
huh?
Yeah.
Like, what? That is crazy. Yeah. And I can only imagine what it's going to be now, considering the fact that it's coming to Xbox, dude. Like, it's just going to be on a different level. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, I strongly think opening night, I think opening night last year, I looked it up. It was like 14 or 15K. I think it was opening night. We're watching it. Strongly. I mean, I think it's at least doubling, if not tripling, opening night.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be insane.
Oh, it is. We're going to be on the top of the categories at least.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Nuts.
Let's give a few shout-outs to everybody in chat right now. Travy Trav, K Rules, JT. What's up, boys? 7,500 followers on TikTok. Hey, let's go, Ray. Congratulations.
Dude, I actually have, so like I said, I was losing followers for a while, but I actually had one hit the other day. It got like 200, like some thousand views, and now I've gained like 700 followers since then. That's what I mean by like TikTok literally is so discoverable. It helps out so much, man.
And not to mention, we've been discovering that YouTube Shorts have been absolutely hitting.
Yes, YouTube Shorts is another thing that people, if you're trying to grow, which everybody's always trying to grow, you need to do YouTube Shorts. That's a huge thing right now.
Sometimes you're gonna get more views out of that than TikTok. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah. It's actually funny. I've had some where I've actually re-uploaded from TikTok to YouTube Shorts, and the YouTube Shorts do better than the one on TikTok. So
yeah, I've had a couple of those too.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah, it really is.
So, how does it feel here at the beginning, about the end of March, I'd say, when you're going to be quitting your job? How does it feel to be going full time once 21 comes around?
Oh, man. I literally, even right now, I sit here and I think, I'm like, I'm really about to do this. Like, this has been a goal of mine for years now. And I finally got to a point where I felt good, financially. That was the biggest thing, being good, like financially being set. That was the biggest thing. Like, I wouldn't be able to do this, obviously, if I wasn't financially set in a place where I felt really comfortable able to do this. But literally, I'm like giddy as like literally Christmas. Like, that's what it feels like when I was a little kid at Christmas. Because I this is like something that I'm super, super passionate about. I didn't like my job. My job just, with the COVID stuff, I mean, it just changed my job a ton. I was working crazy hours, like 50 to 60 hours a week. And I'm like, dude, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm getting burned out. I'm only 25 right now. I could not sit here and do this for another 5 years. And I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time with Xbox coming, with it going to Xbox. I'm literally, I'm so excited. I can't even explain. I really can't express it in words because it's a dream come true, honestly.
Oh yeah,
to be frank.
Yeah, and you're gonna be able to devote all your time into just this. And honestly, I think that's gonna help you out in the long run. In my opinion, it's gonna help you gain traction. Especially, we talked about it, and it's a question in the script I wrote out to you about how the growth of this game is gonna be on a different level compared to past few years.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, I think opening night will be triple the viewers, and you see like someone like Cougs or Kyle, pulling 1,000 viewers when at the hype at like the where it was really popular. Yeah. I think those guys will have 2,000-3,000 views easy. I think opening night Cougs will have 7,000-8,000 views.
I'm honestly at that point. I think they will hit either triple or quadruple their normal view counts, and it will be astronomical. Absolutely astronomical. And then you got the people coming from Madden, then you got the people coming from any other games that they haven't been playing or streaming it for a while, so they hop on when the new one comes out. It happens every year. Never bugs me.
Yep. Always see those Madden guys go on there and
absolutely.
They bring views to it. I mean, that's how I look at it. At least.
Exactly. And it never bugs me at all. I love them when the Madden guys come in. I had a conversation with one of them the other day. I can't remember for the life of me who it was, but it was a pretty good conversation about how we feel the game is going to be for next year. And I was telling him how the fact that I was going to be, I've been in this community forever, so I know what it was at one point and to see what it is going to be now. I can't wrap my head around it, you know?
Yeah, dude, I've only been in the community since like 2017, right? I haven't been in there forever. But just like thinking back to then, I don't remember really ever seeing anybody over 100 views, even like when it was somewhat popular. And I didn't know really Carl dude or anything like that, so I know he was pulling viewers and stuff.
Mhm.
But very seldom did I ever see that. But I mean, great on a night now, even like right now, you can have like 5 or 6 guys pulling 100 views, and the game is, the end cycle, right? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and it's only, like we said, it's only gonna like quadruple, double, triple, whatever it's gonna be huge.
That ceiling is going to be fucking broken. I'm telling you, that ceiling is going to be absolutely broken.
Yeah. Bringing over the Xbox gang is probably gonna be one of the better things to ever happen.
Right. Exactly. Yes, Farmers. I will. That's something I needed to get to here real quickly. But basically, for everybody that is listening or watching this will be posted on YouTube. This will be posted onto SoundCloud, and in turn, that will be posted to Spotify as it is posted to SoundCloud as audio only. So it is available on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. So make sure you guys just look it up on SoundCloud, Out of Bounds with Cubs Fan 004, Spotify, Out of Bounds with Cubs Fan 004. Not too hard to find.
Check it out.
Check it out, my friends. Check it out. All right. I'll let you guys know that at the end of the stream, we will do some sort of Ask Me Anything or Ask Ray Anything. Ask him questions near the end of the stream. You can put your question in. We won't answer all of them, but we'll answer as many of them as we can. So, and any questions that he feels he's okay with answering, because I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, obviously.
Hey, I'm down with it.
Yeah. All right. Another thing I wanted to get into, MLB 21 coming up. In your opinion, what is the biggest number one thing, and I mean number one thing, that needs to be addressed in MLB 21? Go.
The biggest thing, and then my chat will, my people from chat will address this as well, but pitching, man. We got to fix pitching. Pitching is absolutely brutal, man. I don't understand how we got from like 17, where like your input really, really mattered, to where we are now, where like I'll do analog and it will just literally go nowhere near where I want to put it. I don't understand like what happened with that, I guess. But pitching to me is such a huge thing that needs overhauled. But obviously they have a new interface now, which is supposed to, help fix that.
What do you another side question to that. What do you think of that new interface? Because it's very tied into 2K's old baseball games.
Yeah. I suck with it. Well, I guess I probably shouldn't say that, but it's interesting. I never really played 2K. So trying to understand it without having like some sort of video, and I've played MLB Show for a long time. It just I need to learn it. I still just need to learn. Once I see somebody else doing it and I see how they do it, then I'll understand it more. I don't really get it all right now, but someone will help me out with that. I know they will, and I think it will be the best pitching interface that most competitive players will use.
Right. Well, what do you think about the fact that they're adding something similar to what Madden's doing, and like simulation, competitive modes, and casual mode? That's the word I was thinking of.
Yeah, no, I think it's huge. I consider myself a competitive player. I've won some money in ESL before. I've done pretty well in those tournaments. And so to me, like competitive wise, having like the game matter like as the player and not just like the ratings, which I know ratings are attributes, everyone want to call them, will always play a factor in the game. But I've always wanted my input to almost trump most of it, if not, like 90-10, 80-20, something like that. And I just feel like pretty much ever since 16, it's gone like further away from that. But with them adding like a casual mode, because I think they really wanted to help out like the casual people, because like that's more what the game's towards. If you like our community is by far what like people want.
Yeah.
So when they're trying to split that out and make it competitive, I think to me like that is huge for our community and what a lot of people have been wanting for years now.
Yeah. And a lot of people have been wanting the separation because obviously you've got people saying, well, when something happens that we see that's very RNG, everybody's like, well, that's baseball. Well, that's baseball. And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm gonna sit here and say this to anybody that ever says that and that's listening to this. Stop. Don't say that. Please stop saying that. This competitive environment we have within the MLB community, you cannot have RNG. You gotta eliminate. You gotta find a way to eliminate it. Like, and don't sit here and tell me, well, that's baseball. That's not how it works. Like, that's not how a competitive game works. This is not real life. This is a video game. Remember that.
Which I think, and with the mode stuff too, I think that will play a big part into it. Where competitive is going to be the way. Like they say, the player or the like your input's going to matter the most. And I truly believe that this will be the year that's what they actually mean. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. I really hope it plays out like that.
Yeah, me too. I am definitely looking forward to it. But what do you think of the new trailer they dropped today? The Stadium Creator, my man. Like, honestly, I looked at that and I'm sitting here like, Field of Dreams, I want it. Field of Dreams, I want it. Like,
and they had some freaking some stadium on there already that had like it was like the Field of Dreams damn near.
Yeah,
right? It was like one in the cornfield.
Yeah. It was in the cornfield, and I'm sitting here like, that's my stadium. I want it.
Right?
Like sitting here, like, and I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna have a stadium vault, and they're gonna have all this, and I'm sitting here like, there's so many possibilities. Like, and I was sitting here watching Mills break it down earlier before we started this podcast, and by God, the amount of stuff we looked at and we looked in depth into, you could even build your own concourse. Like, you can even customize that concourse. You could even, my God, we thought there was like a press box out in the center field in one of the stadiums, and I'm sitting here like, wow, fucking alien spaceships out in the sky too.
Yeah, they went way above what I thought it was going to be. I thought like, maybe some dimensions and like somewhat kind of like what MVP was, but obviously that was like 15 years ago now.
Yeah.
So I mean, there should be upgrades to this point, but they had a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I did not think it would be that in depth, which is actually, I think it's super dope. I think first off, them bringing that into the game is awesome. I think it's super dope. The only thing that I'm worried about, and I think most people will ring this as well, is how is it going to play in DD? How is it going to play in DD? Because they said it's going to be in DD. Does that mean that it actually means it's going to be competitive stuff with BR and ranked seasons, or is that more of like, not moments, but I guess I don't know what else.
No, I know what you're saying. Like a competitive, competitive aspect. Like I wouldn't mind seeing it in like offline modes, because like if there's like play with friends, in all honesty, and being able to like just build your own stadium just for one tournament would be crazy. Like, that'd be dope. Just the thought of that, I can't wrap my head around that.
Well, and honestly, I was in the corner of it's not coming to DD. I was 100% it's not coming to DD. I thought it was going to be like a franchise relocation thing. I thought that was what their intention was for it before, obviously, today when they dropped out everything else.
Yeah.
I think it would be super dope to do a franchise. Now I'm like thinking like, man, I might start doing franchise. If I can customize all this stuff and like make my own team, hell yeah. Like that sounds like fun to me.
Yeah.
I just have to see how it plays out in DD, because that's going to be it's going to be interesting to see. I got to think if it's in DD, they're going to have restrictions. They're going to be good about, making sure it's not going to be super glitchy, but people always find glitches in the game. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I'm going to ask chat, and I'm going to ask you. You create a stadium for your Diamond Dynasty team. What's the name of it?
Oh, jeez. The Cheesy Dome? I don't know.
Yes, I love it. I love it. The cheesy dome. I don't know if you could make a dome, but we'll find
That's
out.
right off the rip. That's right off the rip without any putting like anything into it.
My man, the cheesy dome is perfect. Honestly,
the Cheesy Dome. I mean, yeah, I would probably go with the Cheesy Dome.
Your camera keeps going out of focus a little bit.
Does it? Oh,
yeah. There you go. You're good.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, MLB stadiums have been terrible for 2 years. Yeah, I mean, they have. I mean, what they should do, in all honesty, is just create one stadium that they would use for, like, competitive tournaments.
Yeah.
And then we don't always have to use Ship It.
Yeah, I think Scuffy's he's put a lot of tweets about that. But, yeah, they need to have some sort of competitive stadium that just makes it so it's an even playing surface. There's just nothing weird. It's just straight up just a game. I mean, nothing. I would strongly think that they would be able to do that. I think with like how they started doing events at the end where like they lock stadiums and stuff, I think that's something geared towards what they're going to be doing with like tournaments and stuff in the future.
Yeah. Sully Boy said Cheeseball Stadium.
Cheeseball Stadium.
Yeah. Halftime update. Iowa's up 48-26 on Nebraska.
Ooh. Go Hawks, baby.
Go Hawks. Fuck Nebraska.
Yes, sir.
Fuck them Cornhuskers. But yeah, the possibilities with that is like absolutely just infinite possibilities. Like being able to like I love the idea of being able to like create a classic stadium or do what Frisk is gonna do. He's gonna create 30 new teams. He's gonna create all the players. Like he's gonna name all the players out of the people that watches his video, and he's gonna create all the stadiums. And I'm sitting here like, my man,
that's insane. That's content, though, right?
That's content, but I don't know if he's gonna have time for that since he works for Elgato now.
I was about to say, yeah, he's gonna be busy, but yeah, and I think I think it's a really really cool idea. Obviously, we have to see how it plays out in DD, but the fact that they brought that in, I don't think most people thought that was gonna happen this year.
No,
I was on the edge of like, yeah, probably not. But then once I got the leak with the YouTube video, I was like, okay, it's in the game.
Yeah, exactly. I never thought it would come. What's up, Throwrod? How are you, man? Basically, like the way I see it is, man, yeah, I never thought it would come. I never thought in my lifetime I would see it. Just like the fact with Xbox, like it coming to Xbox. I never thought I would see it in my lifetime, and I'm just sitting here now. I'm just thinking in my head, how am I going to build this stadium? And is it just going to be all cornfield in the back? Like, yeah, like chat officially. I live in a cornfield now. Congratulations. Like, right, and like the possibility with that is absolutely crazy to me, and I cannot wait for it.
Yeah,
I cannot.
It's going to be awesome. I think there's going to be some really, really cool things with it.
And there's got to be something that they're not telling us though. What do you think? There's one thing they're gonna possibly feature that you hope that they bring.
That's tough. It's a feature that I really like. I mean, I think this is kind of like not really a big feature, but I think the evolution program. I think they could do a lot more with that. I think they kind of scratched the surface with it, and I don't know if they meant it to be kind of. I think in MLB Show 16 they had like was it the Joe Mauer, Verlander?
Yeah, when you packed those cards, you got. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I think they scratched the surface of that. I think they can do a lot more cool stuff with that. But I think the biggest feature for me personally would just be like actual competitive play. ESL was a start. I'm not gonna say it was a fantastic start, but it was a start into competitiveness. And I think like a weekend league, they give us a weekend league. Ooh, baby.
I'm curious to see what they're going to do. ESL was always a thing because they're partnered with Sony. Yep. Now that it's coming to Xbox, how are they going to do it now?
Yeah, they
start their own LCS?
I hope they have something, dude. I think what is it? Madden, 2K, maybe NHL, they have like actual drafts for guys, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how far away we are from that, but
Getting
hopefully something like that.
Maybe getting the MLB involved in something. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think I don't know if it was Rob Manfred. There was somebody high up in MLB that said like they really want to start pushing more esports stuff. I don't think it was Rob Manfred. It was somebody up there.
It was somebody. It was somebody. I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like a tweet a while ago, and and now that they have that MLB gaming Twitter now. I don't know who runs that. I don't know who that's through. But that's a pretty big thing too. I mean, I don't know.
It's a start.
Right. I mean, it's something, but we just have to have something for competitive players to play besides ranked seasons, because ranked seasons is there's just nothing there that I want to grind that makes me want to keep playing ranked seasons.
Well, once you get to World Series, it's not worth it anymore.
Like, and I think, like, don't get me wrong, I think top 50 is cool. I think it's awesome for people to be able to do that. But the fact that I get a top 50 banner and like a 40-pack bundle or 20-pack bundle, it's like, why? You know what I mean?
I don't get that either. Like they need to tie players to that, in my opinion. Considering they had so much content that they didn't release, then why not tie that to that, or tie it to something else? Yeah. Or tie it to more the offline grind, because they're talking about expanding the offline grind even more for people to be able to choose, which I like that, even though I don't like offline grinding. That shit's a pain in the ass, but it's not gonna be anything like 18. Pray to God.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it will be either. I think, and again, we're in the minority, right? We're the smaller part of the MLB, the show as a bubble or as a whole. The casuals reign supreme on buying the game and stuff and everything, but
they do.
Most people don't realize that, because we're all in our own community, right? Like we all interact
and they talk about it every year. What is the number one most played game mode? And everybody's like, well, it's Diamond Dynasty, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's Road to the Show.
Yeah, Road to the Show.
It's always Road to the Show every single year.
Yeah. So I think that's I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, but I really do think that they're going in the right direction, as in competitiveness, like how they said that they have like the different modes for it. So I have very high hopes. I'm always optimistic, but we'll see how it actually pans out this year.
Yeah, definitely. So chat, I'm gonna ask you this question, and I'm gonna ask Ray this question. This is a question for every single person in here. Top 3 legends you want in the game this year. Go.
Okay, top 3 legends. I mean, obviously, and this is a no-brainer for me. We gotta get Roberto Clemente in the game. Just personal wise, I gotta get Roberto, man. Favorite player of all time. He's the reason why I have 21 in my name. Like, I literally wore his jersey number throughout my entire life. Like that's what I always did. And I would love to see someone like Pedro Martinez in the game as well. Maybe even Randy Johnson. But then obviously, the big one, Barry Bonds. I don't think he'll ever be in the game, but that's another one. If we don't get him, which I don't think we will, like Hank Aaron, I think that'd be super dope.
They could bring back Reggie Stalker.
I see. That's okay. It's funny because I was actually talking about this with somebody else, and I guess that they got sued for that back in 2016, so that's why I stopped doing it.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
it's probably something like similar to what Ed O'Bannon did with the fucking NCAA.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
Oh, that's some shit.
I don't think we'll ever have Barry Bonds in the game, to be honest with you. I think there's a less than 1% chance. But you give me someone like Hank Aaron, I'm there for it.
Right. I can give you my 3. This is easy. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. That's easy. Come on. If you have Sammy Sosa, you got to have it with Mark McGwire. Easy. Mm-hmm. And damn, which one Cub I would want? Okay, it'd have to be Derek Lee.
Oh yeah,
Derek Lee. That one year he almost won the MVP. Dear Lord, he was destroying the ball. Yep. And I'll even add another one to that. Alfonso Soriano.
Oh, Alfonso would be dope.
Yeah, just having his card for when he had a 40-40 year with the Nationals. Oh, that card would be disgusting.
And it just is like his batting stance too. It was very unconventional. I think it'd be super dope to to see that in the game too.
Right. Thrills got Soriano, Bonds, Clemente, Hank Aaron, Roberto, Jeter. Jeter is a possibility, but I don't see it.
If they get Jeter in their game, he's got to be on the cover, man. I feel like there's no way that he wouldn't be on the cover of the game. He's too big of a name to not sell copies and have him on the cover.
Yeah, that's true. But this was the year. We all knew this was the year it was going to be Tatis. Like,
yeah. I think that was. I was like,
it was a given. It was a given when they were doing the. Remember when they turned the card into a 99?
Yeah.
What card was it? His face of the franchise card. Yeah, and they upped it to a 99 for like 48 hours. I thought that was the coolest thing they've ever did.
They need to do that more. That was sick. I would love to see cards like that. Yeah, that was super dope. And yeah, I think it was literally a shoo-in for him to be it. It just all made logistic sense, with everything going on in the world in San Diego. They're in San Diego.
And they love their San Diego Padre players. Seriously.
Exactly. Yeah. It just made sense. So.
It all made sense. I mean, I could see him doing it next year, but who knows? In all honesty, who knows?
Also, players in the game I want to. The Negro League players, man.
Oh, yeah.
Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson, those guys.
Josh Gibson would be dirty.
Josh Gibson would be the best card in the game, Loki. He would be.
God, he would destroy the ball. Like, honestly,
I think he would literally be Babe Ruth with the hitting attributes, and he would also be a fantastic catcher. I think the only thing he wouldn't have is like speed, but other than that, like he would be an end game catcher.
Right. You don't need speed if you're hitting dingers, man.
Exactly. Yeah. And he would be doing a lot of that.
We don't bunt here. We hit dingers.
Nah, we hit dingers.
We hit dingers, man. General says the big unit. Ooh.
Yeah. Randy Johnson. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about with Randy Johnson is his pitch repertoire, because he really, fastball, slider, and maybe a changeup. I don't even know.
Right.
But they were like Mariano this year, right? Or Mariano. They give him, cutter, slider, sinker, changeup, fastball.
And there's people, and there's people that still say he sucks, and I'm like, he's okay. He's not my end game closer anymore.
Yeah, I don't have him in my bullpen anymore, but I'm not. I struggle against him a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
His cutter's still devastating.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 1,000%. It's one of the better pitches in the game, obviously with the meta and everything. But,
but
I think they can juice Randy Johnson.
Do you think they would end up putting a meta in this year's game? Is there going to be some sort of meta? Because obviously there was one year the meta was constantly like throwing splitters, right?
Yeah, splitters.
And then in splitters, and then what was it? This year is sinkers and cutters.
I think sinkers have always been predominantly really good in the game. Especially like low and in sinkers to whatever side batter through their closest inside pitch or whatever. I don't know, like cutter. The thing with cutters is like, if you get a hold of a cutter, it goes forever, but you can like miss it. They're just tunneling a sinker and a cutter is such a hard tandem to try to hit with.
Mm-hmm.
I think sinkers will always be somewhat of a meta in the game.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what off speed, because that's what 18 was like, more off speed. With like the splitter, like the splitter was devastating. That's why Bruce Sutter was so good in 18, because you could just spam splitters. It didn't matter. You just spam splitters.
I remember that year, because he was at the top of my bullpen when I got his 99 or his like high diamond card, and I spammed splitters the entire time and nobody could touch him.
Yeah, and then you had the knuckleballers in 18 as well, but I don't know if those guys will make a comeback.
Yeah, no. Let's pray to our man Ramon. Do not bring back Phil Negro, please.
I don't think. Was Louis Tiant in the game last year? Was he in? He wasn't, was he?
It was either last year or 18. I can't remember.
I think 18 is what the last time they really had those the knuckleballers in the game.
Yeah, sure. And then they just stopped putting him in because the community was in an uproar.
Well, yeah, man, it's just like And you remember when they had R.A. Dickey? They had his Cy Young card in, was it 16 maybe?
Yeah.
Impossible to hit too.
Just any of those knuckleballers were just impossible to hit.
Yeah, especially in 18. It was 18 was just a crapshoot.
Oh, pretty much.
Yeah.
So my final question when it comes to MLB, and we'll move to the last topic, and we'll go through it pretty quickly because it's not a humongous topic, but basically, for anybody that wants to get into MLB and wants to get better and wants to become, wants to go 12-0, wants to go get to World Series, and just wants to get better at the game, what kind of advice do you have to those people? Because I see you as a much better player than me and a much better player than most people in there on Twitch. I mean, not everybody, obviously. You're good at the game. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I say that, and I beat you in a league game,
right?
But playing on league play is a crapshoot. But Frank the Tank says, just get good.
Just get good.
Says
if
only it worked like that, man. If only it worked like that. But what kind of advice do you give to people that want to get better at the game, want to become the next Kyle, wants to become the next you, wants to become the next sneaky, another guy that's like sneaky good at the game, do food.
Oh yeah, 1000%. Yeah, I've literally always talked about this. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does, to be honest.
He is so good. Like, honestly, he is so good. But what kind of advice do you give to new players, especially new players for Xbox players?
Yeah. The biggest thing, and most people, whether or not they want to do it or not, that's what it comes down to, is you need to go into custom BP and you need to spam that for hours. I know it's like literally like one of the probably monotonous things, but going to custom BP, putting that thing on legend, and even boosting up the pitch speeds and or slowing down the off speed, that is something that you just get the repetition of it, right? And just over time you just get better. I mean, you should get better. I mean, whether or not you do get better, I guess, is another thing. But really going to custom BP, custom BP, I think, is one of the biggest things that is somewhat underutilized. I think most of the top players utilize it, but people that want to become that don't really use it to their advantage when they should, because it's not always the most fun thing to do, I guess. But that to me is what helped me get to being an average player to, I would say I'm above average, maybe a little bit above that. And I just think custom BP is just super underutilized personally.
Oh, I agree. I don't use it as much as I should, but it's something that I feel like that everyone needs to use.
Yeah. If you ask any top player, they'll say that's what they do. And that's, I mean, if you want to be a top player, you should follow what the top players do.
Exactly. And obviously that's the same advice a lot of them are going to give. Kyle's going to give, Rebel's going to give, you are going to give, so on and so forth. Frank says some people who use custom practice also don't use the sliders in rosters that should be used. Well, then that's the thing people don't realize either. You gotta utilize those sliders and realize and just crank up the fastballs, crank up the pitch speed. And just get used to the fact that there's going to be a lot, and just get used to the pitch speed. And that's another thing I want to bring up. Pitch speed.
You're going to get me going here. I know that.
I'm going to get, okay. Well, okay. I'll ask you, I'll ask your opinion on it first before I even get my opinion on it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Pitch speeds need to be universal.
Yes.
There should never be a change in pitch speeds. Ever.
We all thought the change of pitch speeds in each level was a good idea. Then we realized no, it's not.
It's not. No, it's not at all. I don't understand. I think the last the universal pitch speeds was 17.
Yeah, 17. I believe either 17 or 18. I don't remember when they introduced different pitch speeds, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I think 17 was the last year. And honestly, 17 to me was like the last good pitching year too. I mean, it was super 1-to-1, and I don't know if that has anything to do with pitch speeds or whatnot, but different pitch speeds to me, it doesn't help anybody out. It's just like, why am I going from All-Star to a Hall of Fame pitch speed and then to a Legend pitch speed? It doesn't make sense to me. I think universal is the way to go. I think I've always said that ever since they changed it. I didn't really think they would ever be changing it, but they did, obviously. I think it needs to be universal. I mean, if you can't hit on the universal pitch speed, go into custom BP. I know that we've been talking about this, but just go get better. I don't want to say it like this, go get better, but you have to put in the work to get to where these people are already at. Like nobody's gonna pick up this freaking game and be like, "Oh, I'm so good already," right? Like there's very seldom people that can do that. So, I don't know. It is what it is. But I do think that I do think universal pitch is the way to go.
Right. I don't know what the hell I'm just reading in chat right now. Thank you, Thrill. I'll yeah. Don't. I'll read it. I'll read it to you when we're off stream.
Okay.
I'll read it to you when you're off stream. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know who the fuck is saying that. But oh well. Found Dagas's alt.
Oh no.
Oh, that's another podcast for that. You could have a whole podcast just talking about that man. I'm dead ass serious about that, in all honesty. But all right. Basically, let's move on. This is gonna be like a quick topic I wanna get to.
Yeah.
I wanna get your predictions for this year from your Pirates and who's gonna win the World Series.
My Pirates, man. My Pirates are gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle. I mean, there's no ifs and or buts there. They're gonna have a losing record. Probably finish last in the NL Central. Be lucky, obviously, to maybe make or get 60 win 60 games. I don't know if they will or not, but I also think I think the Cardinals are gonna win the NL Central. I feel like they're in a good spot.
Right. I feel you. What would you think? It's like going to be the Cardinals and then maybe the Cubs in second? Because, I mean, you can't, this is the way I saw it with the Cubs. The pitching has gotten worse, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to I think Zach Davies will be fine, but, he's not, incredible.
Yeah.
But, I still think they finish in second.
Yeah, I mean, the pitching is definitely not good for them. But they're hitting. I mean, it's still pretty much the same rotate, or not the same rotation, the same lineup, pretty much. Besides Schwarber and Jock Peterson, obviously switching around. But
Cubs in fourth? I don't think so.
I think it'll be the Cardinals. I think the Brewers. Maybe the Cubs or the Reds.
I still don't think the Brewers are that that good. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We could probably.
We could go on about this all goddamn day. But
the one thing we know, there are two things maybe we know. The Pirates are gonna finish last, and the Cardinals are probably gonna win it. I think that's something we can probably both.
Yeah. I'll agree full-heartedly that the Cardinals are going to win it, period.
Yeah.
But who do you think pulls off the World Series this year?
I've been asked this a million times, right? I think it's one of the most common questions in my Twitch chat. I would love to see Padres and the White Sox in the World Series. I want to see something that's hasn't been when was the last time both of them were even relevant? Really actually super relevant. I would love to see them in the playoffs. I would love to see the White Sox win it. And I know it probably is hurts you as a Cubs fan, but I would love to see I would love to see a random team, not a random team, but a different team besides the freaking Dodgers winning it. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to see the Padres go far, and honestly, having my boy Darvish back there and Blake Snell. Yeah. And that whole pit and Fernando Tatis, I am rooting for them. Period.
Yeah, I think they're going to be. It's going to be a battle between the NL West. Is going to be insane. Honestly, those two, the Dodgers and the Padres, are going to blow everybody out of the water. I feel like.
Frank the Tank said, "Need that Luis Robert versus Tatis."
Right?
Oh my God! Loving that idea of that, man. Seriously.
Yeah, the very up and coming young guys that. Are studs for their team. But yeah, I would love to see somebody that's not won it recently, like the Padres, the White Sox. They're just a different. I would love to see a different, just a different World Series, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. All right. That was just a quick topic I wanted to get through. That's something obviously quick we can get through. But to end the podcast and everything else. Well, I'm gonna allow chat to fire off some questions. Chat, any questions you would like to ask Ray, anything you would like to know about Ray that I didn't cover in this stream, so on and so forth. I know there was one question I saw in the right beforehand. Mm-hmm. Who do you got winning the NCAA tourney? Thrill says. That's an easy one from the both of us.
That's an easy cop. We gotta go with Hawkeyes, baby.
Yeah, not your Purdue Boilermakers.
Yeah,
he's a Purdue fan.
I know. Yeah. Honestly, probably like Gonzaga. I don't see Gonzaga being. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna have a good route there.
Oh, I could see Gonzaga beat us pretty good.
Yeah, that was a tough game. We only lost by 11, I think it was, but
we stayed in it somehow.
Yeah, didn't play very well, but I think Gonzaga is probably the clear cut and Baylor Gonzaga. I feel like I don't see them not making it to the Final Four at least. Like I think they're both gonna make it.
We'll easily make it to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight, in my opinion.
I hope so. We'll see. We gotta do good in the Big Ten tournament, man. That's always.
No, I'm gonna sit here and tell you, the Big Ten tournament is gonna be better than the NCAA tournament.
I'm telling you what, dude. The Big Ten tournament, they got some. What the top 5 people are the top 5 in the top 25 right now. It's freaking Illinois, us,
Michigan,
and Michigan. Yes, it was Michigan. Yeah,
Michigan.
So it's like we have 3 of the top 5, and then you have Ohio State. I don't know what they are now, but they got to be probably top 10 still.
Yeah,
they were number 4, I think.
They were up there, but then they got beat by Illinois and us.
Yeah, that's true. So it's just like pretty much the Big Ten just beats on each other. That's what it comes down to, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much. You just beat up each other, and you never know who's going to win those games. In all honesty.
Yeah, exactly.
Mizzou Cubs says every starter on the Zags has a chance at the NBA. You ain't kidding, dude. Though.
Jalen Suggs is insane.
Jalen Suggs is nuts. That's the only guy I heard about when I was listening to the game on the radio. I was at work.
Oh yeah, dude. I was watching. I'm like, dude, he was knocking out in like literally every shot.
Thrill. Y'all lost to IU twice. I can't take y'all seriously. Yeah, we also beat Ohio State. What you mean? And we also beat Michigan State twice.
That's a slippery slope.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope, my friend. That's a slippery slope. You guys always had our number every year. That's the thing. You guys always had our number.
Very true.
Very true. Very, very true. But at least we're beating Nebraska. We got beat by them last year. Honestly.
They have some. It just seems like we always start out really well. We suck for a while, and then it
comes back up.
Yeah, and then we do bad in the Big Ten tournament, and then whether or not we do well in the NCAA tournament is another thing. But
Sully Boy asked a question. This is kind of like a random question. What does Ray think about partnering with? I think this is like a question. This is definitely a good question I would have asked. If you had gotten to like the point of you're going to be a big content creator and whatnot, you know what I mean? And companies start hitting you up, be like, hey, you want to partner with me? You want to partner with me? What would be like your top company you want to partner with?
It's actually really funny. I was just talking about this with somebody else the other day, but G Fuel. I think G Fuel. I've heard some things about them and what they've got going on. It seems like they treat their partners, or however you want to call them, really well. And I think they promote people really well. Elgato. I think G Fuel and Elgato to me are like the number 1 and 2 that if I ever had a chance, I would love to work with them.
Right. Trav Raid Shadow Legends.
Also, if shout out to Doritos if they ever want to sponsor me, because that's like how I have my name. That's like part of the reason why I have my name. So if they ever want to throw a sponsorship my way, I'm down for it.
Man, well, let's both hit up some Iowa companies and see if they want to partner with. Like,
I actually Estella's.
Yeah.
I tweeted at them the other day, and they're gonna send me a free burrito. So
man,
not a sponsorship, but hey, we might be onto something.
Right. Hey, let's get partnered by Casey's. Get some free pizza all day.
Oh, Casey's. I had some Casey's breakfast pizza this morning. Always bangs.
Always bangs. Problem is I can't have it in the morning. Otherwise my stomach just goes. Whoosh.
Yeah, that was a mistake I made, but hey, we're thriving now.
Dude, you could put a lighter on that. It'll start a grease fire right in front of you.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah, it's addictive, man. It's super addictive.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
Like just
so
their pizza in general, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly. Oh,
Yeah, 100%.
Thrills like MediaCom. Bet they would sponsor you. No. Ray knows about my troubles.
Dude, and I had the same thing, honestly. I had the exact same thing when I was in Cedar Rapids for 2 years, man. They literally it was like the end of my lease for 9 months straight. They came out. Didn't fix it until finally they're like, "Hey, we're going to check the outside wiring." And they found out like a squirrel chewed through on them. And then it worked after that. And that was like a month left. I was like, "Okay."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, that's awesome."
Frank says Culver sponsor. They get them in the media loop. Ooh, motherfucker.
I've been smashing some Culvers here lately, actually. So
bro, we gotta go get some. I'm about to drive up there and pick you up. Let's go to Culver's. Dead ass, bro. I'm about to pick up some shit, man. I'll drive over there. I don't care.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you what, freaking their cheese curds.
Oh, they smack, bro. Like, if anybody is out there listening to this and they don't live in the Midwest, find a way to get to the Midwest and go to Culver's. It's one of the best things you could ever do. Like
freaking Jimmy Jack's too is super good. I had that today as well.
Where's Jimmy Jack's?
Jimmy Jack's is a barbecue place in Iowa City. Oh, now they have one in North Liberty.
Ooh, I might have to come down there.
Yeah, dude, it's one of the best barbecues around here.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I would love to get some sponsors. I've talked to some smaller companies and stuff, but
well, it never hurts.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know much about the business side of things, and I've been talking to some people that are helping me out with some stuff like that. But yeah, I would love, at some point to, definitely get some stuff with people.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you could definitely. Elgato is always a possibility now, especially with Frisk working. Yeah, Frisk working with them. So one of the
that'd be dope.
That man is dad. Plain and simple. He really is.
He's another guy that we didn't really mention either, but he was a pretty big pioneer of film for the show as well.
Oh, I know. He's been around since the beginning. He was actually that podcast I sent you in the DMs the other day. He actually calls in during that, and he talks about the conversation we have near the end, because there was like back then there was always like a divide between the community, YouTube, and then there was Twitch. What brings people to YouTube more than it brings to Twitch, like, and we were just sitting there having that conversation about it, and just sitting there telling people, hey, this is what you can do to succeed. And even CJ brought that up. Like, the best way, this is the advice he gave, and I'm going to give it to everybody else. The best way you can succeed in this community is helping out others and asking for nothing in return.
Exactly.
Like,
that's like one of the biggest things too, man. It's like this is always just a really slippery slope, and it's hard to talk about this sometimes. But like, when people like give subs, they automatically think that you owe them something then. And it's like, it always puts me like in a weird spot, because it's like, I don't. It's always just tough to, like, because people just expect something in return. And like, I've always been the thought of heart where, like, I'll give something to somebody, but I don't respect anything. Whether or not they do give something back to me, like a raid or something like that, that's awesome. But like, I don't ever expect giving something to somebody and expecting something in return, and that's always a really slippery slope.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't think like there's many in the community that think that way, because that's the way that's the like mindset we always had with this community. Like, we always like help each other out no matter what, and we don't really ask for anything in return. Like, I'm never like, did I ask for Ray to raid me earlier? Absolutely not. Did I have a feeling it was coming though? Kinda. Considering it was like one of the few times I was streaming in the morning. So
exactly, yeah. That's like, it's just like, doing something like just doing something good for somebody just feels good by itself.
Yeah.
Whether or not there's anything that comes in return, I mean, it is what it is. But like, I'd never expect to like do something and then be like, oh, they better hit me back. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I've always been the person that just kind of did my own thing, and whether or not people show love, they do, and if they don't, it's all good as well.
Right. Frank says gifts 100. Where's my fucking gift streamer?
Yeah.
Wait, shit. Wait, shit. The streamer doesn't owe you for giving a sub on subbing. Oh, yeah. That is just like toxic mindset, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just always a slippery slope with trying to talk to people about that, because it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, plain and simple. It's always this community, but this community has always had a mindset of being like a family, you know? And now that family's gonna fucking grow like tenfold.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you can do is just build relationships with people. Even before you start streaming, like building relationships with people, like that is you just be in people's chats and stuff, like talking to people, like, because that's how I kind of started too. Like I didn't start streaming right away. I started watching Cougs and those guys, and like started to get to know them a little bit. They started to get to know me, and then I started streaming after that. Like,
yeah, and then Ray started watching me, and that's how I got to know him. You know,
exactly. Right? It's just like getting to know people is the way to do it. It's just like not expecting, like, I don't know. I tweeted about this the other day, and like I always get these, for whatever reason, I get DMs now. I don't know why, of like, hey man, can you raid me? Like blah blah blah. It's like, I don't even know you. You know what I mean? Like why would I raid you if I don't even know you?
Exactly.
You never talked to me before. Like, it's just this mindset of like the younger generation. I guess I shouldn't just, not just the younger generation, but like some mindsets of people is like they just want it right away, and that's just not how it is, man. It's just, you have to build something,
build a relationship. Like how do you think I've gotten through a lot of things in this community? How do you think I've brought along people on this podcast that have, there's one guy I brought on the podcast, he has over 1 million subs on YouTube now. So like how do you think I get people on this podcast? You build relationships with people. That's how I got Ray on. And that's how I'm going to get next week's guest on, which I will actually announce right before the end of this. So that's going to be stick around for that one. But let's get a last few bit of questions from you guys, and then we'll end it for the night. If there's any, like, we'll probably answer like 2 or 3 more questions if you guys got any more left.
Yes, sir.
No, I mean, it's been a good podcast regardless, my man.
Yeah. I like I said, this is one environment that I really like. I really like connecting with people and understanding. I mean, obviously this is more kind of geared toward me, but like just like talking to somebody about it too. It's like, because you don't always talk about this stuff, right? I mean, it's just,
yeah. Well, this is like this is the platform where you would talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I love, like, the people around me, like, they know what I do and everything, but they don't understand it fully, right? I mean, it's just, content creation is something that's not very common. More of a new mindset, I guess, like in the world. But getting to know people that understand it is a really, really cool thing.
Right, exactly. I agree. I definitely agree. Your camera just does not like you, does it?
I don't know why tonight. Like, I've never had this problem before, but for some reason now
it still looks fine on the screen and shit. So
I apologize for that.
No, you're good. It still looks good on stream, so I don't think we have a problem with it. Travy Trab's like, fucking boomers, raid me for free.
If Trav started streaming, I'll probably throw that man some raids, because he's been there since the beginning.
Exactly.
Just, he's built that relationship with me. That man was in my streams when I didn't have anybody in my streams. That's just that's the way how I give back to people, if that makes sense. Like,
right. Exactly. Well, we don't have any other questions asked in the chat, so I think we'll end that here for tonight. You got any final words for the chat and everybody listening to this podcast at home?
I mean, the biggest thing, if you're trying to get into content, I know we talked about this a little bit, just, freaking build relationships, be consistent, and just have a good mindset going into it. I think having a good mindset going into it is a really good thing. 21 is going to be a big year, not for everyone. I mean, it's going to be a big year for everyone, man. You could definitely see people's numbers triple, double, quadruple, whatever you want to see. So getting in content right now, especially with 21 about to come out, would be a huge thing to do. Start getting into it, because once 21 comes out, the directory is going to be big. It's going to be full. It's going to be hard to get those views right now, or it's going to be hard to get those views in the future. So build it right now, build up into it, and kind of enjoy it from there.
Right. Very wise words coming from this man, because he's going to be, I'm telling you guys right now, give it a few months after 21 comes out, he's got partner. Easy peasy.
Too kind.
Like,
Too kind.
You know I'm always kind for you, man. Seriously. Come on now. It's that Iowa love, brother. It's that Iowa love.
It is, man. I do appreciate it. It's one thing for a lot of people to tell me it, but it's another thing for it to actually happen. So we'll see. I don't know. But I am looking forward to 21.
Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to 21 too. Ray got that beard cleaned up for this too.
I did. Yeah. I trimmed her up a little bit.
Yeah, looks good on you, man. It definitely looks good on you. For Mizzou said cheesy for president.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I can handle that. That's too much.
Oh yeah, just let the politicians handle that. But my final words, guys. Don't sell yourself short in content. It's going to be a big year. It's going to be a big year for all of us. If you feel you're entertaining, if you feel you could build relationships with people, go out there, and it's never a bad time to start with content.
Exactly. The best time to start is now.
Exactly. Now. Especially now, because you're going to have all these new eyes coming into the directory, and it's going to be an absolute feeding frenzy once the launch starts. But this has been a very, very fun podcast. I appreciate you coming on, Ray. Thank you so much.
Yes, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it more than you know, man. I really do.
Of course. I still owe you a rack of beer, my friend.
Hey, I'm down with it.
Man, we're gonna be smacking beers on lunch night.
I'm gonna be absolutely blitzed too. You know that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. That's been it for me and for Ray. Appreciate y'all coming out. Mizzou Cubs, Trav, Thrill, Frank, all of you guys hanging out with us, asking us questions, talking about everything. We appreciate you coming out, and we appreciate everybody that is out there watching this either on YouTube, listening to this on SoundCloud, listening to this on Spotify. We appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. If you guys would like to listen to this, make sure you guys check it out on SoundCloud and Spotify. Just search up Out of Bounds with Cubs Fan 004. And then if you'd like to watch the video only podcast, make sure you guys go over to YouTube, search up Cubs Fan 004, and there is an Out of Bounds playlist sitting right there for you. It will be uploaded in the next couple of days after this is uploaded. But that has been this has been a great podcast. Thank you again, man. I appreciate you.
I love this kind of stuff, and I do appreciate you. You asked me around here, and I really did enjoy it, man. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate you, chat. Appreciate everybody. And this has been Out of Bounds with Cubs Fan 004. Thank y'all. Peace, love, and stay hydrated. Thank y'all. Bye.
See you, everybody.
Later.